Since we started the blast cabinet build, I've been receiving regular packages from the Tacoma company a couple times a week, and I really have to share with you the quality of his packing and his packages, the way things are wrapped and shipped. I just received this today from Mike, and I would like to take the time and open it in front of you guys so you could see the quality that goes into not only his products, but down to the packaging. It's top shelf. All proudly made in the United States of America as well. So let's dig into this thing and see what we got. Look at that, another nice touch. Every single shipment I got from the Tacoma company had this packing material. The Tacoma company also provides these pocket constitutions. From what I understand, they have given out over 10,000 of these. It's really an honor to receive something like this in a package. Another nice touch, they include a thank you note. Everything about what Tacoma company does is top shelf. Each one of his products came with instructions. There's something on the wastegate elbow, which I believe we did in part 2. A pressure regulator. Here's Tacoma's in-house built blast gun. Very ergonomic here. Extended ceramic nozzle. Very well made. This is the metering valve that goes on the bottom of the hopper adapter. Peel back another layer. This is the blast media for the foot pedal and for the blast gun and the metering valve. These products are all made in-house by the Tacoma company. That's the gauge for the pressure regulator. A nice big face too, I like that. And now that's a quality trusted brand right there. And this is the rubber inserts for the box topper, the grommets for the hoses that go through the hopper. These are for closing off some of the unused holes in the box. The Tacoma company offers 3 kit options, all which will outperform any other kit out there. I opted for the Deluxe kit, which has additional machining on the internals. Each kit includes a Tacoma company pedal, blast gun, metering valve, regulator, 2¼ inch face gauge, the hoses to connect everything, and the grommets to put the hoses through. The pedal, the gun, and the metering valve are all a high gloss powder coat. The bodies of the gun and the metering valve are aluminum. The nozzle is ceramic and the locking ring is brass, and all the hose connections are machined brass fittings. The metering valve is aluminum body, plastic drain plug, a steel flow control valve. The Tacoma company foot pedal has a high flow valve inside, a steel pedal, powder coated. The pedal housing powder coated as well with a very durable powder coat to match your glove rings and your window frame. Brass 1/2 inch push connect connectors. All of these are made in-house at the Tacoma company and they're all machined in-house. All the kits include a high pressure regulator with a 1/2 inch push connect brass fitting and a 3/8 national pipe taper for your air inlet, 2¼ inch large face gauge with easy to read numbers that goes on the regulator, so you can monitor the pressure going to your gun. If you do not have Tacoma company's hopper adapter and you're installing the metering valve on the Harbor Freight hopper attachment, you would drill an 1 5/16 hole and the Tacoma company will provide a nipple and locking nut for this metering valve to attach to this hatch door. I highly recommend getting the hopper adapter. It's one of them add-ons that pays for itself very quickly. The included instructions explain hole placement for the regulator and for the media and air lines. I recommend reading through these before you start your project. You'll need an 1 5/8 hole saw for the regulator, and you'll need a 1 inch hole saw for the 1 16 holes for the hoses. We'll be mounting the regulator through the back side of this leg. So you want to come 7 inches down to the center of your hole, and you want to center it between here. I already put a mark here, that's dead center, and it's 7 inches from the top. There's an idea of the regulator locking nut. So let's get our 1 5/8 hole saw. All right, temporary fit up. We have to drill our 1-inch hole for our grommet in the shelf here. Our hose is going to come up through this way from the pedal. I'm going to use the natural bend of the hose to my advantage and point it towards the pedal. So I'm going to use some soapy water on here to get it up through the grommet and then just slip it on to the push connect fitting. Now these push connect fittings don't require any clamps, and you want to make sure you push your hose all the way up into this yellow washer here. You do not want to use pliers to tighten this block nut. And we're going to just hand tighten this guy. That's all it needs to be. You see I have the natural curve of the hose pointing straight to the foot pedal. And we want this to end up so when we're standing up, we can read this clearly. That's pretty good for me right there. The pressure regulator is going to come with a 3/8 National Pipe Taper thread. I added this push connect fitting because I want to try something and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. Let me show you. This is my air delivery system. I'd like to talk more in detail about air delivery in another video. I just wanted to show you how I have mine set up. 3/4 inch ball valve, rapid air max line system. I have a 1/2 inch T. On the right side of my T is for my air gun, which is going to be on the outside of the cabinet. And then I have a 1/2 inch Flexzilla hose here, 1/2 inch National Pipe Taper ends on it. So one end's threaded into my T. This end I'm going to cut off and push on that push connect fitting. And this is the 6-foot whip. Picked it up on Amazon for about 30 bucks. Our Flexzilla 1/2 inch ID hose is holding like a charm. On the other side of the T, I have a 3/8 ID line with a Typhoon blowgun. This threads right onto the hopper adapter, but before I thread that on, I'm going to use some Teflon tape. I'm going to use the gas flavor because it's a little bit thicker, but you could use anything. You can use the white to aid you in indexing this because it needs to point up where it's going to be going into the hopper. This is not used for leaks. It's used, like I said, for snugging it up and indexing it. Oh, perfect. Now our 1-inch holes for our media line and our air line. You want to come 1 5/8 down from the edge of the top of the hopper and 2.5 inches in from this end here. You want to drill the holes from the inside out. Your second hole is going to be 4 inches from the edge in line with your first hole. Now that we have our clear blast media line and our air line run through the cabinet, we're not going to connect them to the gun just yet. We have to get ourselves in a comfortable position, so I'm going to have to install the gloves. These are the gloves that came with the Harbor Freight blast cabinet. They're not very good quality at all. They're pretty lightweight for blast cabinet gloves, and I can't even get my hands in them. Here are the gloves the Tacoma company sells on their eBay store. Could also be ordered by Colin. Very good quality glove. These are an extra large, and also the gauntlet part of the glove is a way higher quality material than the Harbor Freight material. This stuff is paper thin. This is a heavy duty material with the inner liner. Very good quality gloves. They have a little bit more length. Okay, we're now going to correctly orient our hoses for our blast gun. I got a part here. I got my blast gun, and I'm going to imagine I'm blasting this part. And I just want to get in a nice comfortable position because remember, you may be here for some time blasting. So you want to be comfortable. So you want to get in that sweet spot, in that nice area where you have good lighting and your media is flowing through the cabinet and you're sitting here blasting. Take notice where these hose connections are pointing. We want to try to use the hoses and their natural curve and orient them to the direction of these nozzles. So that way the gun's not fighting you, it's just flowing. Take your time here and attach these hoses correctly. Will be way less fatigue as time goes on when you're blasting. So you may have a bigger part you need to get all the way over here. Only put enough hose inside this cabinet that you need. You don't need a whole bunch of hose all in here. It's just gonna get in the way, it's not necessary. So the furthest you're ever gonna blast is only as far as you can reach to the left or to the right. So you're somewhat restricted by these openings, your gloves, and how far you can reach. So, you only have a little bit of distance to your left, to your right, in and out. So keep that in mind.